All right. It's cold. It's a Monday night. It's a beautiful sunset to my right. It's like purple, blue, golden. It's kind of like actually very exciting. You know, I turn 18 in 3 months, and I'm actually very terrified. Um, I'm very scared to grow up. I plan on going to college at a big city, around like 3 hours away from my hometown, which really think about it isn't that much, especially with cars. But the big factor for me is my parents are moving to another country, and that leaves me in a big city for my freshman year of college alone. Not necessarily alone, because I guess I have my some of the people that I go to high school with will come, because it's not a very hard school to get into, and it's a big school, so I'll have that to help me out. But it's such a big year. There's so many moving parts. Um, now in a month, in 3 months, and I can't even like I don't know where I'm gonna be in 6 months. When I was 16, I could say, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a sophomore in high school, or I'm gonna be a senior, you know. And of course, I can say I'm a freshman in college, but there's a lot of weight that comes with that statement. I'm gonna lose a lot of friendships. Well, I'm sure you've heard it before, where people say that once you graduate high school, you don't really talk to the same people, or you don't really talk to people anymore because they grow up, and everyone grows up and they have responsibilities now, and you lose relationships, friendships, people that were like brothers you don't really talk to anymore. And if you make the effort, of course you can. And I'm sure I'll make the effort for some of the people that stay in my hometown, because again, it's not too far away and I have a car. If anything, I'll have a job and I can take a flight. But just the uncertainty that I don't know how my life will look is really affecting me. It's affecting my work ethic, my mental health for sure, and my outlook on life. And I think it's doing that because it's changing me now. It's really starting to comprehend that I shouldn't be wasting my time anymore. And I should really be focusing on how do I improve myself so that when I get to the part where I'm alone, I know what I'm doing. Because I don't want to be that person that, gets caught up in their dorm, and, maybe I have a roommate or a couple roommates, but he doesn't leave his room, or he goes to class and he sits down in his bed and doesn't talk to anyone. I don't want to be known for that guy. I want to get out there and have fun while maintaining good grades and doing good in school and participating in clubs, all that fun college shit that is really scary initially, especially when you don't know who's going to be there. Uh, when you know that you're going to have a support system, but not physically. You're going to be so busy that you're going to probably forget to make time for people. The statement college freshman is really just making me pick and choose the important things. And it's hard because the important things are usually the things that aren't fun, and the unimportant things are the things that are really fun. I'm trying my hardest to understand how I react to things. I'm trying my hardest to stay calm when I'm such an anxious person. It's it's hard because I'm always in my head. I've created a space in my room that just kind of overwhelms in darkness, and I'm really able to shut down there. It's really like my comfort zone, but it's almost too comfortable. And of course, I have that with people like my mom, of course, and parents are always that relief that, oh, I can go to them. Oh, I can hug them after a long day. Oh, I can kiss their cheek after a long day. Oh, I know my mom will lay with me to comfort me and I can talk about my issues. And as someone who has so much anxiety in their mind and so much pressure on their heart, knowing that it won't be the same, knowing that I won't be able to hug my mom when things get hard, or hug my relationship when things get hard, I get fearful because I know that I can get into states where I will be completely alone and not have the effort to maintain my good grades or maintain friendships, especially long distance ones, where it's all on the basis of a phone. If you ask some of my friends, they'll say when I first initially moved that I was almost impossible to reach because I had no effort in maintaining those friendships. And of course, without effort, there's no friendship to be talked about. There's no friendship to be had. That's why I'm really prioritizing myself right now, or at least trying to, understanding my limits, knowing what to do in hard situations. Recently, I lost my temper to someone who was really important to me, and it was a real eye opener. First, because I'm not perfect. No human is perfect. But it was such a depressing fact that hit me like a truck because all I wanted to be was this person for them that they can relate to or they can come to. And for me to come to them whenever I had an issue, the fact that I held my emotions in and got so upset is so human, I guess you could say. I feel like human is too positive of an outlook in that situation. Too, I think human would be a good word. Because 2 months ago, I would have never lost my temper like that. 3 months ago, I would have cried my eyes out if I ever did that and beat myself up for it for years to come. But I have to give myself some grace in the fact that I'm going through so much and I still don't know really anything about myself. I'm still this 17-year-old kid who's about to live alone probably with no friends, in new classes with major anxiety and depressive episodes. And of course, the other person, they had their moments. Definitely not as bad as me. But for me to stoop so low and to release my anger out on them when they didn't deserve it, when they're going through so much as well, I felt like a really bad person for the first time in my life in so long. When I usually cherish myself for being a good person to others. And I think that's where this all kind of started, where I really realized that I needed to work on myself and to understand my own mind. And it's hard because I don't know where to start. I don't know what road this is. I don't know what road this will lead to. I'm obvious that it's going to be for the better. It's just the road looks so dark, but the end path looks so bright with mystery, not with certainty. And again, as an anxious person, that mystery is so daunting because all you want to do is stay in the safe place, but you know that you have to get out of it. It's hard to love yourself so much and to care about yourself so much and to really know that you have to start caring for yourself more than others and really start to, lock in on yourself and focus on yourself. Are we serious? Um, to really know that you have to focus on yourself alone because nobody's going to do it for you, right? It's going to have to be all you. You're going to have to make the choice to be by yourself. You're going to have to make the choice to not go on Instagram when you're bored. You're going to have to make the choice to do your schoolwork. All those little things, little improvements are so uncomfortable. When all I want to do is just kind of lay down and enjoy life, I know that enjoying life now would mean that when I reach that college dorm and I sit there on that bed, I'm going to have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to be sitting there on that bed and knowing that I could have been helping myself now if I focused on myself more in the past. And that's just the hard truth. And that's the truth that I have to digest, but I'm honestly terrified to do. Again, because of the lost relationships I'm going to have. I cherish my memories so much, and I cherish love of friends, relationships, family so dear to me that doing this sucks more than it would if I knew that I wasn't going to lose them. If I knew I wasn't going to lose them, um, no gracias, hola. Um, if I knew I wasn't going to lose them, it probably would have made the process easier, but it wouldn't have the same benefit, if that makes any sense. Because I think part of the path is being alone And part of the growth is understanding yourself alone. Again, understanding myself comes at the cost of being alone. Not entirely, because being in solitude can really fuck you up. But just knowing that you have to do it alone, knowing that you can't go to people, knowing that you should be keeping to yourself and focusing on school, knowing that you should be working out instead of partying or having fun, talking to your parents instead of, random friendships. Now, of course, all these are good and not necessarily bad, but the priority is different. Of course, I'm going to prioritize talking to my parents more than I will a friend, but talking to my friend will probably be more enjoyable than talking to my parents. Or partying or just going out will be fun, and I'll learn some stuff and I'll have a great time and remember this memory. But I probably should be working on myself. I don't really enjoy video games anymore. I have no idea why. I love video games. I am constantly buying video games, trying to find my spark back into playing games. And it's kind of like a gift and a curse because now I don't really have an urge to play video games. And I get to focus on my school more and do things that I wanted to do. But when I got lazy, I would just play video games. But at the same time, that means that I don't really talk to my friends that I play the game with. So I'm kind of losing that connection. Of course, it's always good to come back and have some fun. You play the game a little bit, but it's setting that priority. It's hard. It's really hard. And I think talks like these are so important to have because if I were to think this in my head, it probably would have been different. But talking just kind of put it into the air and made me realize how the things I was saying are so important and shouldn't just be a thought. They should be put into reality, put into place. But it still doesn't change the fact that I'm terrified and I'm so anxious and the future is still such a mystery. But I just have to know that what I'm doing and the sacrifices I'm making for myself are for the better. And not enclose myself too much to the point where I'm not enjoying life, but to the extent of I'm doing better. And I'm I'm putting in routines that are going to help me in my future. Yeah. Well, that was a deep conversation to have with myself and 20 minutes long. Holy shit.